This is Rare from the Table coming at you with another edition of Movie Reviews Observation number 215. It's been a while since 10 days. You know, life gets happen, you get busy. So I was able to watch 6 movies since leading up to this video. The first one was called On Fire with Peter Facinelli. It's based on a true story. So I don't know how much of it is fictionalized or driven up, but I guess then there wasn't that much in the story to basically be like, yeah, we'll make this movie long. It listed 81 minutes, felt like an hour and 10 to 15 minutes, and it was basically the idea is we all know that there's wildfires in California, and it's all about saving his family, you know, and there's a lot of coincidental things where he's got to save his family, his ailing father, his pregnant wife, and his teenage son, and you're like, let's see how he does it, and then a lot of them work together and go through all these situations and try to save each other, and I thought it was well written, put together, quick and short to the point, really good acting by Peter Facinelli, as again, not sure how much of it was true, because some of it seemed way too good to be true. Not everyone survives, but most of them survive, and it's just like, okay, cool, straight to the point. I actually liked it. I was surprised how much I liked it. Then I watched A Lucky Day with, which is one of Ingalls Cloud's last movies, and Jason O'Mara is in this movie. And it looked like they placed it like a thriller horror film where it's barely, as I said on here, like 90-something minutes. Really hard to read the print when they put weird coloring on the back and stuff. So it was this Ingalls Cloud dude needs money and he wants to take a winning lotto card and like holds up a liquor store, and a cop happens to be there, and a bunch of shootings happen and people die, but apparently the cop's not dead. And then the whole point of the movie is like, I knew at some point pretty much everyone's going to die and no one's going to live, and it's pretty much pretty true in this film where most people were killed over the greed of this. And the only interesting part of the movie is seeing how long it takes for each character to die and who survives and who doesn't survive and all the things that happen in between it. So, rest in peace, Ingalls Cloud. It was an okay movie. Then I watched Next Goal Wins, a Taika Waititi film, and I like his movies, like What We Do in the Shadow, not Thor number 4, but, he makes pretty good movies and TV shows. And it's an hour and 104, it's an hour and 44 minutes. I was like, cool. I need something to put on the background so I can work on stuff, and it was too good for me to do it. Yeah, there's some lull moments, but it was way too clever and like a little bit comical and cartoony in a way. And I really liked it. And again, you get me with inspirational, come from behind underdog movies. You get me movies on sports, as a matter of fact, soccer or a sport I don't watch or know anything about. Michael Fassbender is a really good actor. Will Arnett played a weird person, and Elizabeth Moss was in it. And then there was another guy in there, Rhys Darby, I think. And it's weird. So Michael Fassbender character is like the soccer coach of FIFA, and they got to demote him and stuff elsewhere. And his separated wife, Elizabeth Moss, is also on the board with Will Arnett, who's being weird. I don't know. That's a little bit to follow. And then you're not sure what's going on with the daughter situation because you keep listening to her voicemail. And with American Samoa, which I didn't know much about, they lost 31-0 in FIFA in 2001. So guys from that team were shunned, even though they were good. So the whole movie is him like he's got a coach. You most of the time like, I don't want to be here. I'm only here because I have to be. And then you fall in love with the culture and all the people, and you build something there and you want to be there. And that's usually what a lot of these sports movies are like sometimes. And then number 2 is that they got players from the past to come back. They got the new guys. The guy in charge of FIFA Federation soccer team in that country, in that area, Samoa, his son was on the team. They had a transgender character, and my friend who's transgender and a film critic goes, they kind of overdid it. It wasn't that much big part of the story of the actual true story. And it was a little bit being woke, so that came from them. I felt like in my opinion, they spent too much time on that. But it was cool that the goalie of the movie is the guy who played the young Rock in high school and a little bit in college, and he played the young Black Adam. And it's good that he's getting exposure, and this movie also had characters from the young Rock franchise along with other actors that I've seen before. But it was like, I've seen these guys, and you're like, wow, they're in Young Rock, and now these Samoan actors are in all these television movies, and it's great, exposure, and it helps him stuff. And he's a good actor. It's not like, oh, just because he looks like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's in this movie. But yeah, the whole Fassbender relationship with his wife and the daughter, a little bit weird, and some of these other characters obviously weird, but you learn more about the Samoan culture, which is pretty cool. And like, again, sports movies get me, underdog story, and it wasn't too long a movie, and Taika Waititi made a good, clever movie, and it was really good. Then I watched Speak No Evil, which they call a horror film, obviously, and Certified Fresh. No thank you. It was 90-something minutes, and I'm going to tell you this, in any situation where you're like, you meet people on a vacation one time, and they invite you to come out to their remote house in the middle of nowhere in another country you've never been to, and then you stay there and your kid comes with you. If you have the opportunity to leave after some weird, creepy things happening because his kid doesn't have part of his tongue, whatever, You leave the first time and you don't come back. They came back the second time and like a third time, and they had so many opportunities to leave, and it's on them that they get killed, and their daughter gets kidnapped and taken by these people who they thought were their friends, but they killed them or whatever, and they were naked, and then there was tongues being cut off. It was very weird and stupid, and I'm just like, yeah, this movie just sucks. I'm glad that it was 90-something minutes. And then the library wants it back. You can have it. It's terrible. Then I watched Bob Marley, One Love, which someone goes, I tried out an electrifying masterpiece, 5-star. Or beautiful, no, heartwarming, no. The movie is an hour and 40-something minutes. But really, it's an hour and 30 minutes with minimal credits. And then in terms of minimal, information about Bob Marley and stuff that happened. And then long credit scenes with music. And that's really what took up a chunk of the movie. I feel like Kingsley Ben-Adir, whatever his name is, Kingsley Ben-Adir, I think his name is, they kind of wasted it because they focused on one specific era and time, a peace concert between the two feuding people in his country, and him being shot, and his cancer, and la 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 la. And it was like a very specific period of time. I was hoping for a movie about Bob Marley, like with Bohemian Rhapsody or Elton John's weird movie or Jennifer Hudson playing Aretha Franklin, that you go like from youth to adulthood until their death, like, or Elvis in a way a little bit too. And it's like when you focus on a very specific thing and it's just an excuse to play a bunch of his music in the background, and I don't know if he's lip syncing or not. It was very limited and quick and kind of boring and just waste of time, and it just wasn't good. The acting in the movie, I think one of the best parts in the movie for me was someone pretending to be Jimi Hendrix. That's it. And then I watched Arthur the King just now. I finished it with Mark Wahlberg. It's based on a true story, so again, we don't know how true it is. But the idea is that Mark Wahlberg's character is a famous racer who kept not finishing in the top 10. His teammates didn't like him. He kept losing sponsorship. And he's type of racing, I think, in the Dominican Republic it's not the Domingo, where you take rock climbing, mountain biking, paddling, canoes, and running, and all this other stuff. And it's like an obstacle, it's like a course through all this terrain. And you can go in any order you want, apparently. And your team's got a navigator, and people are experts and stuff. And he's got to build a team, because the last time it didn't go well. He didn't even finish the first day, apparently. Simu Limu's in this movie, from Barbie and the Marvel movie. And Natalie Emmanuel is in this movie as well. And Mark Wahlberg's like, I need a redemption story. I need to do this. And it was all inspirational, like a true story, come from behind lovable losers to winners. And somehow this dog in that country where there's all these dogs and they're sick and infected, but this dog followed them apparently through the whole course somehow and trying to save his life. But it's like, oh no, the dog has been through so much. No one took care of the dog. He's been abused. He's going to die, all this other stuff. And a little bit sad. You're like, we don't want the dog to die in a movie. And even though I'm not sure to spoil this based on truth, even though they're not victorious as the real winners, it's a victorious story for Mark Wahlberg's character and the group and team and the dog and everything. And it was a great movie. I wouldn't say it's a 5 out of 5, but it's like a 4.5 out of 5. It was pretty good. There were some scenes where I'm like, this is wasted, or it's not realistic, but based on a true story. But Mark Wahlberg does seem to play a lot of inspirational characters who are either fake or real, like the football, the boxing movie, you name it. So, and the war films, he's a good actor. I really like this movie. I also thought even though it was very short and straight to the point, Peter Fasinelli and On Fire was really good. And then Next Goal Wins, between the true story, the sports, the comeback, the underdogs, the actors in the movie, and the writing, it was probably really good. I enjoyed it. Little issues here and there, but overall really good. These were the 3 best ones I watched. I would say you're a lucky day if you like Agnes Cloud and Said He Died and you want to see this, someone trying to win the lottery by, robbing people. I wouldn't suggest it. If you're obsessed with Bob Marley, you watched this movie already probably. This was a little bit lacking. Disappointing, and Speaking of Evil was terrible. Terrible, terrible. So thanks again for listening to This is a Movie Renovations number 215. For Honor Table Block, I'm Raider. See you guys next time.